Hey everyone, and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake, and today we're going to be looking at the subreddit r/idontworkherelady. I haven't worked here in years, but for you, I've been debating posting this for a while, and finally decided it does kind of belong here. About 6 years ago, I worked at a retirement home, giving the residents a mock dining experience. Myself and the other waitstaff would help bring in residents and head up serving to tables of 4 to 5 people. They would often sit together in their own groups, but unless they were volatile, we'd seat them together to keep people company and to keep service times down. We'd give them a super simplified menu, with 2 specials of the day, a soup of the day, and various retirement essentials, like prune juice, available for those that needed them. It wasn't the easiest job I've had, but it was really spiritually fulfilling, and I made friends with many of the residents during my time there, even quietly attending one of their funerals. Let me tell you, you would be surprised how little you know about someone you think you knew until you're at their funeral and their family starts to talk about their life. I quit after a while to pursue new jobs, but one of my great aunts was sent to respite care after a surgery, and so I visited her to keep her company. As luck would have it, she was sent to receive care for her month-long stay in the same retirement home that I used to work at. A lot of the old residents still remembered me, and a couple of the kitchen staff were still the same, and even let me steal some of the godlike cookies they needed to throw out. Cooked on site, never had anything like them, likely never will again. I made sure my aunt knew where all the activities were, which ones she could do for free, and which ones were worth paying for, and then sat in on dinner to keep her company. This is when our incident happened. After the waitress had taken our order, I excused myself to use the restroom. On my way back, I had an arm caught by the lady we'll call Carole. "I'm ready to order, lovely." I was a bit caught off guard, but quickly realised what was going on. As I said, I worked here before, and so she seemed to expect that I'd take her order. I'm sure they'll be by soon, Carole. I don't have this section anymore." She let go of my arm, and I scurried back to my table. Carole seemed really confused and distraught, and I heard the other people at her table trying to explain what happened to her. Everything seemed fine for a couple minutes. Then she started crying. I felt a bit upset, but I can't do anything. So I just let it happen and tried to not let it distract me, and talked with my aunt a bit more. A few minutes passed and her waiter came by to take their orders, starting with the person on her right and going clockwise around the table till they got to Carole, who was still crying. We'll call her waiter Dave. "And what can I get you today?" "You're not my waiter." Dave, looking a bit confused. Well, I'll be taking your order today." At this point, Carole gets upset and starts shouting, "You're not my waiter. Lovely always serves us." Dave looks confused. Carole, I've been serving you all year, remember? I don't think we even have Lovely on staff." How dare you lie to me? They served me just last night. They always serve me." Dave, changing tactics. "Well, Lovely is sick tonight, so she can't make it in today. May I please get your food?" At this point, something has clicked with me. Carole is having none of it and refusing service, and I excused myself from my table and quietly came over and tapped Dave on the shoulder. He turned around, looked confused, and I just kind of plucked his book out of his hand and walked up to the table, while he just stood there, alarmed and clearly unsure if he should punch me in the face or find out what was going on. Sorry about that, Carole. Can I help you? We're serving beef stroganoff and Caesar salad today. But for you, we always have smiles as well." "See? I knew she was still here. Now, I'll have a..." After I finished taking that, I just quietly gave Dave back his book and asked if the kitchen supervisor was still the same guy. It was. So I told Dave to tell him what had happened, and to come get me when it was time to bring Carole her meal. It turns out, Carole had recently started to lose track of time, and while they weren't sure yet if it was Alzheimer's, dementia, or something else, she'd just started demanding recently to talk to staff that had no longer worked there, staff that never existed, and family members and friends they didn't know about. The supervisor came by a bit later and quietly checked if I still had food handler's certification, so he could feel safe letting me handle the delivery of her food. And the staff thanked me for helping with the situation by comping my meal. I still think about Carole sometimes. I often wonder if what I did was actually right, or if it might have made the situation harder to handle in the future for them. I'm still not sure I honestly did the right thing at all. I didn't work there anymore, but for Carole, I worked wherever she thought I did. You don't know owner, you just insulted her niece. I went to the beach on my long weekend, a privately hotel-run beach. I am dutifully sunburned from it. I went to the beach with friends of my family, and we got one of the few remaining chairs that are laid out for use. I came back from swimming first, and because I felt tired, decided to move it to a shady spot nearer the beach business/lifeguard shack. Now, I've been going to the beach for years, and after waving at the cashier, who's probably known me since diapers, I settle in. I pull the towel over my head partially to block the sun, and begin my nap. Not 10 minutes later, I can hear the entitled mother yelling loudly at the cashier for Beach Activity Shack. It was so obnoxious and loud, it woke me straight up, and I sit up. I glance over, and a woman with a kid about 4 to 5 is arguing with the cashier about there being no cabanas left. It's a first come first serve policy on this beach. She's stating over and over she knows the owner of the beach, an activity shack, and she will be getting the cashier fired, which already sets me off on her. I can tell this is getting everyone on the beach annoyed because she's practically screaming. Seeing as the security guards are starting their long walk from the hotel, it's a trail walk and is not a short distance, and not wanting the woman to ruin anyone else's day, I get up and walk over. You know what happens next. Me is me, cashier is cashier, and EM is entitled mother. Excuse me, can you stop yelling and cursing? This is a family-friendly place. Finally, a manager! I'm not a manager. I'm not in uniform or anything. Points to bright yellow bathing suit, which does not match the blue and white uniforms. Then why the heck are you over here? I demand to speak to a manager. I know the boss. I'll have you fired. Both of you. Go away, you wannabe. Getting in people's business? You should be ashamed of yourself. I share a look with the cashier. I sincerely doubt you know anyone in management. Of course I do. Look, I have the phone number. I'm calling. She proceeds to fake a phone call on her phone. You just called my CEO's niece a dog. The entitled mother stares at me in disbelief. Then the guards arrive. Hey Bambi, she causing a problem? She was just leaving. The entitled mother grabs her kid and leaves. Guard, cashier and I catch up a bit before I return to my nap. Entitled mother did not come back to the beach. Hobby Lobby hell. I have never worked at Hobby Lobby, but sometimes it feels like I live there. I am involved in a wide variety of crafts, as is most of my family, and I tend to know every local store and their layouts by heart. Generally, I don't mind helping people who seem lost or confused, as most of the staff are either cashiering, hidden by shelves, or in the back. Also, those I've helped tend to be very kind. As we all know by now, that isn't always the case. An elderly woman was needing help finding painter's tape for her husband. She had no idea where it was, and surprisingly, it isn't with the paints and brushes, so I was more than willing to help out. My grandfather is a paintaholic, so I helped her try and figure out what brand her husband would like based on the type of painting he did. In the middle of helping this sweet lady, entitled woman walks up. She taps my shoulder. Excuse me. I turn. Huh? I can't find anything in your store. It is backwards. Where is your glitter at? Me, knowing one store in town is actually flipped floor plan wise, I immediately knew the issue, but was confused as to why she was complaining to me. Sorry, I don't work here, but of course you do. I've seen you straightening stuff, and now you're helping this lady. You need to hurry up and show me where I can get glitter. Silently cursing my OCD. Yeah, habits die hard, but I don't really work here. Then why are you helping her pick out tape? Because she's nice, needs help, and my grandpa paints, so I kinda know what I'm talking about. Look, if you don't want to do your job, that's fine. Just tell me you're too lazy and I'll find it myself. I'm not lazy. I just don't work here. She's about to interrupt when I see an actual employee come down the main aisle. There is an employee. Notice the apron, name tag, and scanner. She can help you. I immediately turned my back, focusing my attention on the older woman, hoping this pushy gal would at least have enough intelligence to play spot the difference. Apparently it worked, because when I was done helping the older lady and turned around, she was gone. Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you did and you're not already subscribed, please do consider subscribing so that you never miss out on another video. If you want to check out my other videos, then click on screen right now or check out the description for some playlists. But thank you again and I will see you very soon.